I'm Ted Check. I'm the Public Information Officer for the York County Office of Emergency Management and also York County 911. And I'm here speaking also on behalf of Pennsylvania State Police. I have some basic details to give you about this crash, and what I give you is what we have at this point. So just bear that in mind, as I finish what I'm about to tell you. So at about 2:35 p.m. today, as you can see over my shoulder, a small passenger plane crashed into a utility vehicle. And this is an off-ramp from the Pennsylvania Turnpike here in Fairview Township. Specifically, it's the Harrisburg West interchange. Inside the plane, we had two individuals. Both are injured, and they both have been taken to an area hospital, one by helicopter and one by ambulance. As far as the extent of the injuries, that is part of the investigation, so that's not going to be released at this point. As you can see, state police are here. It's their jurisdiction. They have command, and also the FAA is here as well. Also, the driver of the truck was uninjured in this crash.
What do you know about the circumstances of how this plane ended up crashing here?
I don't at this point, and that it's an ongoing investigation. So that's up to state police and also the FAA. They're investigating.
Was the plan trying to land at Capital City Airport or taking off from there?
We're not sure at this point. I don't know, and that's part of the investigation. So that's this is the information. What I just gave you is what state police would like out at this point.
Who owns the bucket truck? Who owns the bucket truck?
I don't know.
Was the utility truck doing work here? Were they working on
It's my understanding it was moving. It was on the ramp, that it was moving. Departing from the turnpike.
Oh, so it wasn't doing work on the side of the road?
I don't believe so.
The truck was traveling when it was hit.
That's my understanding.
Were any other cars or anything involved in the crash besides the utility truck and the airplane?
Not to my understanding. No. What you see here is, the vehicles that are involved.
Yeah, that's a pretty substantial crash. I mean, do you guys have any idea of how fast this plane was going? I mean, the crash itself, just from what you're telling us, sounds pretty freak accident, just in terms of the timing.
Right. I don't know anything more about it than what.
It's a serious crash.
It is absolutely a very serious crash. Yeah. I mean, you can see by the by the extent of who's here. We had state police here. Lots of firefighters and EMS, hazmat. We had our hazmat team here for a while.
Was there a fire or an explosion of any sort that happened after it collided?
No.
What about closures with the turnpike? Because I saw people were moving at one point, getting on to go east.
Mm-hmm.
What are we looking at now?
I can get back to you on that. Yeah, as far as closures, there are some closures, but as far as the extent of that, yeah, I can get back to you on that.
How long do you guys expect to be on scene?
That I'm not sure. It's a slow process, because they want to make sure they do everything right.
I saw a plane coming in. It looked like it was going to Cap City, but is air traffic at all impacted by this crash?
That I don't know. That'd be a question for them. Yeah.
Do you know where the pilots were from?
I don't.
These were what all ramps were closed again?
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that as far as specifics.
This right here is the.
That's known as the Harrisburg West interchange.
Okay, and this is exiting the turnpike going onto 83?
No, 83 is that way.
Okay, so this is exiting the turnpike going onto some other road.
Well, it's exiting the turnpike. It's from the turnpike.
Are you able to describe, the extent of the damage on the truck and also the aircraft? Were you able to see it at all?
I don't know. That would be a question for the investigators as well. How severe the damage is. Yeah.
You said you don't know the conditions of the two pilots that were taken. I mean, it's a pretty serious crash, but
They've been taken to the hospital. Yeah, one by air, one by ambulance, and yeah, as far as the extent of the injuries, that's all part of the investigation. So. Yeah, that's.
Can you remember anything in your career looking like this?
Yeah, well, 25 years as a reporter here in York County, or 20 plus. No, I don't remember anything specifically like this. I think there may have been maybe a plane on 83, but or something. Yeah, I think there may have been something like that, but not specifically something like this of this nature. No.
Was there significant of like fuel spillage or anything like that?
What's that?
Fuel spillage? Did that have to be cleaned up or anything?
Well, I'd have to get back to you. I can tell you that our hazmat team, which comes under the Office of Emergency Management, they were initially requested. They responded, but then at some point after they arrived here, they were called off. So, yeah.
The plane.
Was there a passenger in the truck?
As far as I know, there's just a driver. Yeah, and he's okay. Yeah, he was uninjured.
The plane had to be flying obviously so low for it to hit that utility truck, but there's no idea yet if it was, you know, in distress or there was an emergency happening inside the plane.
That's all part of the investigation. So, at this point, that's not known.
How do you feel crews responded? You know, how do you feel about them responding to all this?
I mean, I think they did a great job. I think they did a fantastic job. You know, the response time was great, and you know, sorry. Everybody was obviously very concerned about the safety, you know, of all involved, and so, you know, they were doing everything they possibly could to help out these individuals.
Bottom line,
So-
everybody's out of this wreck. Just to be clear, everybody's out.
Correct. Yeah, we had the two that were in the plane. They're at area hospitals, and then we had the driver of the utility truck, and he's okay. So I think the last question here.
When you heard, you know, plane crash on the turnpike, I mean, what initially went through your mind as, you know, someone who responds to these types of emergencies?
Well, it is an unusual event. It is. It's not something that you hear about every day. You hope that you don't hear about these things, but sometimes they do occur, and it's just good to know that we have all of these first responders here that are ready at a moment's notice to respond and do everything they can to help people. So thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And